What's up, guys? Being Hunter for Reptile events, and here in this habitat here is two Mediterranean House Geckos. So for this video, I'm going to switch to two cameras. So I have my main camera on right here, and I'm going to use my other camera, my cell phone camera. So anyway, to give you a better view of these geckos, because these geckos are really small, and this is the thing I have for them. And this is a micro habitat cage by Zilla. Not sponsored by them, by the way. But anyway, this micro habitat is pretty cool. But the main problem is taking those scratch protectors off. They're one of the hardest things to take off, and sometimes they're really impossible to get off. Like this one right here, you realize it's kind of foggy on some sides because some of the scratch peels is still on them. And I try to get them off, but they're very difficult to get off. Like they're like stuck on the plastic. They're like stuck on the plastic, so it's very difficult to get them off. So I have to deal with this. So yeah, that's the problem with these micro habitats. Sometimes the scratch protectors are really easy to get off, and sometimes they're not. I mean, yeah, they're really difficult to difficult to get off. Speaking of micro habitats, I have another one right here from my tarantula. This is for my Mexican red-knee tarantula. We'll get to her in the next video, maybe so. She's still new to the collection, and she's doing pretty well so far. I only had her for like over a week, so yeah, I only had her for over a week. So she's doing pretty good. Yeah, so these are Mediterranean House Geckos. These are invasive in the southern eastern states. So I caught these two. Yeah, I actually rescued these two. These are rescues, by the way. So yeah, and that coach clip I have on top is a rescue as well. It's not an actual wild caught. It's a rescue. So yeah, it is. Even though it is wild caught, it's a wild caught snake. Someone was also selling it. Reptile Show is how I buy it, and it's also a rescue too. And I use it for education. I use that for education and stuff. Yeah, and so far it's been doing pretty good, but it doesn't really eat a whole lot. So yeah, that snake doesn't really eat a whole lot. Like it only lets you know when it's hungry. And last time he had a bad snake mite infestation. I had to like soak him down and stuff, and yeah, it was definitely not good to go through at all. I mean, seeing those snake mites on him was definitely not good. But I managed to get him off, and I managed to clean his cage up and everything. He's doing pretty well. He's actually doing better than he was before, so he's doing better. And he had a bad shed. Not too long ago, and it was definitely not good to go with at all. So hoping he'll be better this time. He'll be a lot more better this time. Hopefully he'll actually get better sheds and stuff. And before we get into these geckos, the care, I also want to mention that I have a cage. A new cage coming up soon. It's a monitor cage. It's a huge cage. It's a really huge cage indeed. It's a 8-foot in length cage. It's going to be a big cage. I can't wait to get that cage here. It's almost done. It's going to be probably done in a few days. I have to get the glass installed for it. I have to, put the rubber paint in there too, because I gotta have something to make sure the wood does not get rotten or anything like that. So I make sure there's like that flex seal in there, so make sure the wood doesn't rot up or anything like that. So yeah, I can't wait to get this cage done. I'm looking forward to get this cage done. It's going to be for my mangrove monitor, so I can't wait to get that cage done. So yeah, this cage is a lot of work. This cage is definitely big project to work on, and I can't wait to get it in my room and stuff. I can't wait to get that kind of cage in my room. But anyway, let's go into the Mediterranean House Geckos. So this is a micro habitat. This is perfect size for these geckos because these geckos don't get too big, and these geckos only get about 2 to 3 inches, and they're easy to maintain. They're actually easy to care for. You only need cypress mulch, some bark to climb on. So that's why I got in here some bark for them to climb on, and even some cypress mulch in there and stuff. And make sure you clean the bark because if you get bark from the wild, you make sure to clean it. Make sure you actually boil it too. Make sure it's actually has no parasites, no worms or anything like that. So yeah, make sure it's like all clean. I made sure these barks are clean and stuff, but no parasites whatsoever. And I do pretty good so far in this cage, or do pretty good so in this care and stuff. So yeah, let's have a look at them and everything in my second camera. All right, if you can see over there, there's one gecko right there. That's the Mediterranean House Gecko, and there's another one right there. That's another Mediterranean House Gecko. And this is their cage setup. This didn't take too long to maintain. It's just a microhabitat. That's all it is. If you want to see me, unboxing a microhabitat, you can see a video on the link in the search box below, or go to my playlist called Reptile Events. My Reptile Events playlist, so you can view that there as well. So anyway, yeah, it's a very unique care habitat for them, and also they're really unique geckos. Now for their care, you just need cypress mulch and bark, as you can see right here. That's all you need. The temperature you need is they don't need like hot temperature. They need like room temperature. Room temperature is actually great for them. I say like in the high 70s to mid 80s. That's a good temperature for them. They don't need a basking light because most geckos are nocturnal. They don't need basking lights. They don't need UVB lights. They're nocturnal. Lizards, they like to have just a night light if they need that kind of night heat and stuff. They do pretty well in the night. They are very active at night and stuff. They eat crickets. Yeah, they eat crickets. They also eat other insects too. They'll eat cockroaches and flies and other insects they want to get hold of and stuff. These are real. They also eat insects bigger than their own size. I've seen pictures of Mediterranean house geckos eating big cockroaches when it comes to this. And just remember, guys, these are invasive reptiles, so these are rescues. So I caught them in Northwest Alabama. I've been caring for these animals for a while, and they're doing pretty good, doing pretty well. Although they will bite because they are defensive and they don't like being held. They don't like being handled. So when you're caring for some invasive ones, they do not like being handled. But if you want to get one of these, I recommend some captive-born ones, even though I've never seen captive-born house geckos, but they could be out there. They could be out there, and I heard these are like morning geckos, like where they just clone themselves and stuff. I think I got a male and a female, and they haven't bred yet. But I heard when it comes to morning geckos, they clone themselves. They just females will keep on laying eggs. They'll just keep on laying eggs. Notice they're also asexual. So yeah, they're asexual and stuff. These geckos are kind of asexual, from what I heard. So yeah, one of my friends told me they're asexual. And it's my first time taking care of these geckos, and they're doing so far doing pretty good. And Mediterranean house geckos, they're actually from Asia and Turkey. They're from Europe as well. They're also from Asia as well too. So not native to the United States, even though in the United States people do see them on their house and everything. But it's important to catch these geckos because they are not native to the United States. So it's important to catch them. They like to stay still. As you can see, they're staying still. If you touch them, they'll run all over the place because they're very skittish around humans. So I'm not going to touch them because that'll make them all run all over the place and stuff. I'm just going to show you what they're like. They're beautiful geckos. They're really unique geckos indeed. They're little bitty. They only get about 3 inches from what I noticed. Because the biggest one I've seen the biggest one. I tried to catch it, but unfortunately I couldn't catch it. They're too fast. They're really fast geckos. They run up on walls. They like to run up on glass and stuff. So they have sticky legs. So they'll use those pad legs to like run up walls and run up glass and stuff. So yeah, they're arboreal geckos. So you definitely need branches. So that's why I have these branches right here. So yeah, you definitely need these branches. And they like to run this glass here too. Their eggs are able to get on the glass. They also like to rub wood too. So yeah, here, really unique geckos. Do they make good pets? Well, for beginners, actually no, because these are little geckos. I don't recommend children taking care of them because they are little and they may bite you. On top of that, you may accidentally squish them because children may accidentally squish them because of how small they are. So yeah, it's definitely not recommended for beginners. Not recommended for beginners at all. I would say if you're advanced with other geckos, these are the best geckos to work with and stuff. And they're really unique geckos indeed. They're absolutely interesting geckos, and they're easy to care for. They're easy to care for, but for beginners, I think it's better to get uh, leopard geckos and all those other geckos you can get. But for these geckos, you'd be very careful with them. They are very fragile, so you'd be careful with them. Indeed. So be careful with these geckos when you're taking care of them and stuff. So that's the care for the Mediterranean House Geckos. Like I said before, they only need temperature like in the high 70s and mid 80s. Most of the room temperature will be good and stuff. And you don't need a big cage for them. If you want to make a big cage for them, you need a lot more geckos than this two, because this is enough for two and stuff. And they need bark. They need some cypress mulch. They also like other tropical stuff like peat moss and probably some other like substrate to keep their humidity going. But since they've been used to the environment here in the United States, get some of that environment too in their cage. They like that kind of stuff. They're used to it and stuff. And make sure you check on your houses. Make sure you check around your houses. If you have brick, that's where they mostly are. If you have a brick house, that's where it mostly could be when it comes to these geckos. They like to run up on brick, and they're going to be fast. So yeah, they're going to be really fast geckos. And here's another thing you should mention. Get a flashlight. They come out at night, so make sure you have flashlights to see these geckos if you're trying to look for them and stuff. And make sure you catch them, because they are not native in the United States, just so you know. Yeah. So there's the care for Mediterranean house geckos, and let you know these are invasive geckos. I hope you enjoy this video, and anyway guys, our Reptile events, and I'll see you guys later in the next video. Bye.